Okay, I have this tape, which I just recorded some part of the Tech Time Traveler episode about the digital group on, and I recorded it on this VCR, um, by request of Stutter and Stick. So I'm gonna pop it in here. We can watch what I recorded. You might be able to see the clock. Also probably not. That looks kind of horrible. I have not set it, so that's how long I've had it plugged in. I'm very trustworthy, you see. Okay.
Business of microcomputers was going into bankruptcy after
I
just
think this
5
is the
years.
end of my test recording. Yep. Okay. I made a test so that make sure the recording was actually working, and also to make sure I had the tracking control set right. You kind of have to do that sometimes. And then here we go. Turned up a bit.
1979, Jimmy Carter was president. Disco was burning up nightclubs worldwide. The average household income was $16,530. And in the summer of that year, one of many, many companies that tried to hit it big in the brand new business of microcomputers was going into bankruptcy after just 5 years. They were called the Digital Group. How did it all go so wrong?
Audio is quite wobbly, but that's just how VHS is, so.
At the dawn of the 1970s, there were no personal computers at all. Computers were large, hopelessly expensive, very impersonal, and communal resources that could only be afforded by large organizations, protected and maintained by a nerd Praetorian Guard. The average citizen's odds of direct interaction with a computer were pretty close to nil. And yet, just a few years into the decade, all of this would change. The advent of the microprocessor suddenly shrunk computers from room size to table size. The possibilities this transformation afforded seemed limitless. Whole communities of like-minded hobbyists, engineers, and inventors sprung up. Groups like the Homebrew Computing Club met and shared knowledge. It was a time of blue sky
I think I
thinking.
might need
There
to
were no
adjust the tracking
rules, no
control just a
requirement
bit.
to conform. Everyone had their own ideas about
Nope.
what a personal computer ought to be, and pursued those ideas, for better or for worse, with
Yeah,
gusto.
there we go. That's about
Everyone that
good.
tried had a roughly equal chance of success. More than a few would-be microcomputer moguls saw the
Come on.
revolution that was coming and started their own companies seeking fame
Yeah.
and fortune. They created machines that were as individual and infused with personality as their makers. Lots were able to make a living selling designs, kits, and even assembled systems to enthusiastic hobbyists and eventually ordinary folk and businesses. It was a time when virtually anyone with some know-how could aspire to greatness, just like the early automobile makers at the turn of the century. That they were able to do this was due, in part, to the temporary inaction or indifference of some of the big players in technology. Among big names like IBM, there was certainly an awareness that personal or home computers had huge market potential. In an interview with the Indianapolis Star in 1975, IBM's vice president for marketing, F.G. Rogers, predicted a whopping 1 in 100 homes would have a computer terminal in them by 1984. IBM had been taking steps towards such a future. The IBM Model 5100 shrank things to a manageable size for the home, but at $9,000 was still well beyond what an individual would be willing to pay.
Okay.
Some in the industry were skeptical of the
I'm
value
not
of the
gonna
microprocessor,
have
a
you guys
device that was
watch
just a
this
part of a
entire
larger computer. They
thing I
believed this,
recorded because it
along the
is
lines
like
of smarter
10 minutes
calculators,
long,
wasn't
but
as much a terminal
yeah,
as
there we go.
someone
I think it
much as
looks
the
and
internet.
sounds pretty good from this
On the
VCR.
market in the mid 70s when it was still
So,
free compared to business.
here, I'll just show you. I recorded quite a bit more of stuff, as you can see. I wonder if I could mess around with the tracking control and get this to look good. Nope. Okay. Um. So yeah, there you go. I recorded a whole lot more than I showed here. Um. Okay. So yeah, that was my demonstration of the recording capabilities of this deck. Sometime I'll test out the timer recording, but I've never been able to figure that out on VCRs. Um, but mainly, I've never had one old enough to like have a complicated timer on it. So yeah, there's also this up here with more stuff. Um, so yeah, I'll mess around with that sometime. Yeah, there you go. That's a demonstration of the recording on this VCR.